Bridget looked and saw the terrorist sitting calmly watching a show on the Discovery Channel and froze. Hot pee warmed the insides of her pull-up and she couldn't focus on anything else. She was peeing so long she thought she was going to leak. Finally it stopped and she looked down at the legs of her blue jeans. Still dry, but she wondered for how long. Her pull-up felt saturated. "Excuse me," she told Amy. "I left something in the room." She turned and hurried toward the elevator and up to the room. Finally, in the safety of the elevator, she felt the back of her pant leg. It seemed to be a bit damp and she almost panicked and decided to drive home. However, the elevator was mirrored and she was able to see the back of her legs. They didn't look wet. She half smiled and decided she could do this. Once in the room, she stripped from the waist down and began to clean herself with some wipes. She got out a new pull-up and pulled it on. She was tempted to put on her night diaper and hide it under a skirt, but Amy and Flower might notice if she changed clothes. Instead, she pulled up the jeans she had been wearing over the pull-up. She felt some relief that she hadn't leaked, but it had been close. Tomorrow she would wear her long skirt and depends. She carried the wet pull-up to the trash inside the common bathroom and started downstairs. Today, however, she had to get back to the orientation session. It was supposed to start at 1 o'clock and it was already 1:05. She hurried back down to the lounge just as everyone was filing out for the campus tour. "Took you long enough," said Amy. "That creepy skinny girl kept asking where our room was. She wanted to look for you." She imagined Flower walking in on her as she was changing herself. "What did you tell her?" "I certainly didn't give her the room number." "Good," said Bridget. She had plans for Flower, but she didn't know how to get her alone without the terrorist. Maybe Amy should have told her to go up and find her, but someone else would have gone looking for the two of them and Bridget wasn't sure how she would interrogate Flower. She didn't think waterboarding would work and besides, she still didn't Google how to do it. The tour of the campus took over an hour. They walked from building to building while the campus ambassador droned on and on about the different buildings and what went on inside them. "And this is the engineering building where most of the engineering students have classes." Bridget looked in the window and wondered what else would be going on in the class. She looked over at Flower who was standing with her uncle. At the sight of the terrorist, she had another little accident. It was just a trickle this time since she had completely emptied herself with her just before the tour. Her cheeks burned and she looked around to see if anyone noticed. "Just don't look at him," she whispered. "Pretend he's not there." Her pull-up was mostly just damp and did not overwhelm the absorbent material at all. "You okay?" asked Amy. "You look a bit flustered." "I'm just a bit warm," she said. Her face did feel warm, but it was from the heat of her blushing, not the weather. "Now we are going inside this building and we can start orientation," said the tour guide.